Hello everyone, welcome to my main channel. If you don't know, I have a second channel and I have a vlog channel which we're going to be posting on very shortly. Just a little warning, this video is sponsored by a porn company. We'll get into that later on, but this video is about how to have self-love and how to not hate yourself. We're also going to be touching on some issues, just a little rant. If you've seen my second channel video called Women Wake Up, this is low-key a part 2. I would like to start by saying, if you are someone that hates yourself or you dislike yourself, you're not abnormal. I think it's honestly very normal to not like yourself, especially as women, because fucking everything in this world as a woman makes you hate yourself. Every day there is something new to worry about. I mean, you go into a bloody app, you see someone getting surgery for, I don't know, their earlobes or their hairline, and you're like, wow, I never even considered this before. And then you go in the mirror and look at yourself and go, oh, maybe I need this. There is something new every day for a woman. It's never ending. Additionally, now we have these fucking alpha male podcasters, which every day as well, they have a new issue to diss women on. Oh, because she's not a virgin, she's a whore. God forbid we shame women for exploring their sexuality, but we'll get into that in a little bit as well. Then it's like, you're too skinny, you gain weight, you're too heavy, you're too fat. Can we get a break? Can we get a break? No, we can't. That's the truth. No, we fucking can't. But what I'm saying is that it's genuinely hard for women to accept themselves and have self-love, because everything in this world, it's like it's put there to make you feel bad about yourself. I actually made a video like this a couple of years ago. I think I was 19 or 20, I'm 23 now. And I watched this video the other day, and it's funny because I can't really recognize that person, and how I felt in that video, or how I described how I used to feel in that video, it's entirely foreign to me now, and I've completely forgotten that I used to feel this way. And I think that should provide some support for you as well, knowing that how you feel now, it's probably not going to be how you feel in a couple of years down the line. I also will say that naturally, with growing up and maturing and developing your prefrontal cortex, I think that as you get older, you naturally just learn to accept yourself more, because you've just simply spent more years out here as an adult and you know yourself better, and also you just don't give a fuck anymore. So I will say, as I have gotten older, I really do not care about beauty standards as much, because I actually have grown to like myself. And this is something that I could not have said a couple of years ago. Genuinely, I did not like myself. I remember when I was 18, lying in my dormitory at university, fucking staring at the ceiling, and I had this realization that I had never had before, that I hated myself. It was this deep-rooted subconscious feeling, don't know where it came from, but I didn't like myself then. And honestly, now at this age, I can say I like myself. And it's because of a couple of things in this video I want to talk about. But before we get into it, I want to circle back to talking about women's sexuality, because today I opened my Instagram reels, and for some reason, reel after reel was about shaming women for their body count, shaming women for exploring their sexuality and everything. And I was watching these videos like, damn, are we in the 1800s? Because we are moving backwards. And it's honestly these insecure podcast men online who are shaming women for this. I would pride myself on having very amazing male friends. A lot of women are like to me, Simone, I don't believe good guys are out there. And I'm like, my male friends are incredible, and they're in long-term relationships with their girlfriend. I know their girlfriends, I'm friends with them all, and they are genuinely good guys. And I'm gonna add, these men are secure, number one, and number two, they're not chronically online. So I was actually asking them about this whole body count thing and how these men online, they shame women for such a thing, and they were baffled. They were like, what are you talking about? I don't understand why anyone would be insecure about that. And it's funny because they actually came up with this theory themselves and said men feel this way because they want someone, because they're probably inadequate in the bedroom themselves, inadequate in size, so they're insecure, and they basically don't want the woman to have experience because they're afraid they're not going to match up to the other men she's been with. So they're just projecting their insecurities. So yes, naturally my secure male friends, they don't feel similarly. Don't get this confused with me in this video saying like, go out and be a hoe and like sleep with everyone you want. You know, be safe. You guys know my opinion on hookup culture. I talked about it in the Women Wake Up video. But what I'm just saying is that these insecure men who say this stuff online, you can't take them seriously. Back when I was younger, 18, and like I said, I hated myself. I remember writing a list out of everything I liked about myself, and one of them was low body count. How fucked up is that? And I was thinking about that today, going like, why did I write that down? And it's because I internalized the male gaze, or rather I internalized the insecure male gaze. And then when I realized that, I kind of got over that and was like, this is kind of fucking stupid. Because every time I then had a sexual partner, I felt shameful about it. Even though, honestly, to this day, my body count's still low, but I still felt shame back in the day. I'm over it now, don't give a fuck, will do what I want, quite frankly. But it's genuinely all the internalization of this insecure male gaze. It's not the male gaze, it's the insecure male gaze, and women should be free to explore their sexuality and how they feel. And I think a great way to do this, you guys, honestly, pornography. Now, it's not by watching the typical pornography providers we are all thinking of, because honestly, a lot of those platforms are very, very unsafe, and a lot of the people in these videos can be kidnapped or trafficked or underage. So this is where Cheeks comes in. I'm genuinely so proud to be sponsored by Cheeks. So thank you, Cheeks, for working with me today. So Cheeks is a sexual wellness platform, and you get access to authentic, erotic adult films, audio, novels, and there's expert-led workshops which help to educate you on, you know, sex, your body, pleasure, etc. They also have a taboo breaking magazine, and you know what this all is about? It's about breaking taboos and normalizing sexual pleasure and experimentation for women. Something I really like about Cheeks is, number one, everyone that stars on their platform, they are over the age of 18 and they're working legally in a safe environment. Number two, they have something called Pleasure Academy. And what Pleasure Academy is, it gives you the sex education that you did not get at school. It gives you live workshops, tutorials, a podcast, and an online magazine so you can learn from industry experts, coaches, and journalists who are all deep diving into intimacy, which I think is like genuinely amazing. Cheeks guarantees a safe porn experience, ad-free, virus-free, and it's completely legal. It's there to help you explore your sexuality. With my code Simone, you can get Cheeks for 7 days to try it for completely free, and then choose to go into a subscription if you want to. You can also cancel at any time or switch to the monthly plan if you don't want the yearly plan. So head to my link in bio to get started. Let's also talk about where self-hate stems from. Besides the fact that we have touched on how naturally women are in a position where we are going to hate ourselves more, apart from that, self-hatred, it stems from a lack of self-acceptance. Because if we feel like we're inadequate, or we're smaller, or we're not good enough, we hate ourselves for it. We don't accept ourselves. Instead of saying, okay, I know that maybe I'm not a perfect individual and I accept myself, we may take the opposite route and pity ourselves because we are not perfect. And then that leads to self-hatred, self-loathing, feelings of unworthiness, etc. Something to know is that we are all on this planet for the first time. Experiencing life for the first time, we're going to make mistakes. We're not perfect. No one is perfect. Even if you look at someone's life online, or even your friends, and you think they're perfect, they're not. Trust me. People think my life is perfect. Oh, Simone, you're traveling the world. And I'm like, you have no idea what goes on off camera. You don't know. Nothing is ever as it seems. I genuinely think over time I've accepted all of my imperfections. When I was younger, I even said this in my viral subliminal video that I wanted to change everything about myself. But the subliminals I listen to aren't changing my physical appearance, because I know deep inside I don't want to change anything about me. But like, I want to change fucking everything. When I look at physical subliminals, I'm like, yep, I need the nose one, I need the jawline one, I need the lips, I need the eyes, I need the hair, I need everything. But then deep inside, I'm like, do I really want to change that? I said that. I wanted to change everything about myself, even though I also didn't at the same time. But ask me today, Simone, what do you want to change about yourself? Not that much. When I was younger, I would say, I want to get surgery on every part of my face and body. Not anymore. Why? Because if we're just talking about beauty at the moment, I've learned to really appreciate how I look. Not only that, I don't compare myself, because I was thinking about this recently. Number one, you can't compare a rose to a lily, right? They're innately beautiful, even though the different flowers, they're still beautiful. You truly can't compare it. And then I was thinking about my male celebrity crushes, and they all look so different, but I genuinely cannot put them in a hierarchy of who I think is the most attractive to least attractive, because they're all so different that truly it is like comparing a lily and a rose, an apple and a pear. I can't. So I think if you're a woman and you think about it in that light, it may help you a lot to know that just because you don't look like that supermodel, it doesn't diminish your beauty in any way. And I truly think in a world where everyone is starting to look identical, your natural beauty will always shine through. And just because you think you are not perfect, it does not mean that you are undeserving of love. I actually had this deep-rooted feeling when I was younger that because I didn't feel perfect and I was a perfectionist, that I felt like I was undeserving of love. And then that's something over time I have unwired in me, and now I'm like, I'm absolutely deserving of the best. This leads into the fact that you kind of have to do shadow work. Guys, I don't know, get a therapist as well, use my BetterHelp link. And I say this in every video, but it is so crucial you know yourself. Let me tell you something. When I was 18 and I experienced depression for the first time, I couldn't pull myself out of the hole, and it's because I actually had no idea who I was. I had no idea about my shadow self, my triggers, my trauma, anything. I did not know, so I didn't know how to deal with it. Now I know quite literally every single aspect about myself, so I know how to deal with these issues when they come up. When you do this shadow work, you might realize things about yourself that make you feel bad. You'll be like, oh, why do I have this issue? Why do I have this trauma? I'm so fucked up. And then you may feel broken. And I'll tell you that you will piece yourself together over time, because I did. There was this one particular thing I realized 2 years ago, and it was only recently I realized that over time I naturally kind of fixed this issue that I thought I'd have forever. The first step is honestly to just realize what's going on up here. So going back to imperfections, I realized that I didn't want to look or behave like a carbon copy bitch. If you want to get surgery, do it though. But you know, just because your nose is hooked doesn't mean you need to get a nose job. It doesn't mean your nose is imperfect. And sometimes I see these videos where people have a hooked nose, for example, and then they get surgery, and I'm thinking, you just lost the thing that made you look so unique and special. But yes, it's up to you. However, if you go down the route of changing every little thing about you, you're just telling yourself on a subconscious level that you will never accept yourself and that you will never like yourself. So what I want you to do is, when you go to the mirror, instead of picking out all your flaws, pick out the things you like. And if you're one of those people, because I know I was, that looked in the mirror and actually didn't like anything about themselves, fucking lie, okay? Lie to yourself. I love my hair, I love my lips, I love my big fat fucking nose. I'm joking. I love everything about myself. I don't know, lie, okay? I promise, over time, you will start to believe it. It's just naturally rewiring your brain to find the good things about yourself. Make a list about the things you like about yourself. And if you struggle to find something, well, try harder, because I'm sure there is something you like. Or think about the things that you have that other people don't have. That can actually be an easier way to think about it sometimes. You need to have compassion and kindness for yourself, which means not being a perfectionist, not beating yourself up for making mistakes, and not holding it against yourself. I am very, very forgiving to myself. Example, this morning, it says on my whiteboard, Simone, wake up at 6 a.m. You know what happened? I set my alarm at 6 and I snoozed it like 10 times. I woke up at 11:30 today. I know. In the past, I would beat myself up for it. Now I'm like, well, I need the sleep, so I'm going to sleep. And I'm deserving of the sleep because of all the work I've been doing recently. So I'm just more compassionate towards myself now. Instead of immediately going down the route where I'm berating myself, I'm compassionate. I make a mistake, it's okay, Simone, I forgive you. If I make this mistake 3 times, I'm absolutely going to be more harsh on myself, but I'm going to tell you guys that rarely happens. I rarely make a mistake 2 times. I immediately learn. Sometimes your childhood experiences can make you hate yourself, especially if you are someone that, God forbid, has been abused as a child or recently even. For example, people who have been through sexual abuse, they tend to hate their bodies because they blame how they looked for why they got abused, which is so sad. And for that, I say this video is you're going to take it in a very different way, and that's an entirely different healing process. You know, you can't take someone on the internet to be like, hey, be kind to yourself, to get rid of what happened to you and how you feel. And that's why I do encourage shadow work and therapy. I talk about therapy in every video, but it's true. You need to get rid of people in your life who don't accept you. This is a big one, because I had a best friend, and there was at some point in my life where I realized I low-key was doing things for her approval, which I didn't even know. And it felt like our friendship was very conditional. Like if I did something wrong, I would get a cold shoulder. And then I was thinking later on, this is not what friendship is. Friendship is actually accepting your friends for their flaws. And if they're really bad at something, you know, tell them, be honest, help them through it maybe. And because I was seeking her approval and she was such an important person in my life, it actually made me not accept myself. So then when I distanced her and I found friends that actually accepted me, everything changed. So yeah, if you have friends that give you a very conditional type of love or friendship, you need to distance yourself. Stop setting unrealistic expectations. When I was younger and I knew nothing about life, I literally said, Simone, you're depressed right now, but here's a plan, and in 7 days, you're going to be the happiest person alive. And when 7 days rolled around and I wasn't happy and I was still depressed as fuck, I beat myself up. It's unrealistic, right? You need to set realistic goals for yourself, and then have compassion if you don't achieve those goals. Stop letting yourself down. For example, I didn't wake up at 6 a.m. today. Now, if I set this goal every single day, and every single day I didn't follow through, I think I actually have reason then to hate myself. Because I'm actually lying to myself. I'm lying to myself by saying every day I'm gonna do this and I don't. But I don't do that. Some days I may not wake up early, but other days I will. For the most part, I show up for myself. Because if you're not showing up for yourself, then who the fuck is gonna show up for you? And that is a form of self-love. Self-love is it's not going and having a bubble bath, having a massage, or, you know, consuming something, spending money as TikTok makes it out to be. It's not. It's actually the simple things. Believing you're deserving of respect, aka when people disrespect you, you stand up for yourself. 2, it's taking care of yourself, working out, having a good diet, etc. It's taking care of yourself mentally, aka investing into therapy, doing your shadow work, whatever, not hanging out with people who are bad for your mental health, and then it's just doing things in your best interest. Think about the person you love most in this world. Maybe it's your mother. How do you treat her? How do you want her to be treated by other people? That's how you should treat yourself. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have more self-love and compassion for yourself now. Don't forget, second channel, vlog channel, and the Mind Formula. We're releasing a new school product next week. Okay, love you guys.
Shout out dogs forever. Do stronger for you. Norman Rockwell. No high content about her. It's just me and you. God makes you on my list. Baddest bitch of the neighborhood kids. Son of baby kiss kiss. You're in the eye, I like the fire, and as the summer fades away, nothing more can say. You right eye to we make it work. You're beautiful and I'm insane. We're American made. Give me Hallmark. One dream under one lover. Make me happy and blue. Norman Rockwell. No hide under. It's just me and you. Oh God, super my list. Against me, you're really on the stage. On the street with the neighborhood kids. Selling off, they make it. You're in the because we're older. And I love all my diamonds, diamonds and a clover. Whoa, 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 whatever, everything, ever. Whoa, 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 whatever, everything, ever. Whoa, 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 whatever, everything, ever. Whoa, whoa, whatever. Me, myself, I like diamonds, diamonds and a clover. Over and over, honey. Over and over, honey. Over and over, honey. Over and over, honey. If you were mine, I'd be jealous of your love. If you were mine, I'd be jealous of your love. If you were mine, I'd be jealous of your love.